There's no question that an awful lot of people are having a love affair with their Alliances and Encores. The satisfaction factor continues to run at an extraordinarily high rate. Owners simply love both the looks and the day-to-day performance of these two cars. In fact, about the only complaint we've ever had is from those drivers who feel that there's not enough power under the hood. Well, have we got an answer for them?
Riverside, California. We asked Pernelli Jones to drive our new 1.7-liter overhead cam engine and compare its acceleration performance to the 1.4. The 1.7 is on the right, the 1.4 on the left. Pernelli turned the quarter mile in 18.96 seconds, passing the finish line at 72.3 miles per hour.
Well, first of all, I was very impressed with the 1.4 liter car. I thought it accelerated and handled quite well. However, it was really a big thrill to jump into the 1.7, and it really does have a lot more acceleration. I think the difference between the 1.4 and 1.7 as far as acceleration, they seem to be both pretty quick at first 20 feet or so, but after that, the horsepower began to take over, and the 1.7 then began to pull away, especially in the last part of the quarter mile. The success that you've had with the 1.4 liter car has been phenomenal, but I think that you're really going to appreciate and really enjoy the added power and the handling of the new 1.7. It's really impressive. I think you got a winner.
You and your customers have been asking for more power in Alliance and Encore, and now you've got it. But important as improved performance is to future sales, this new 1.7-liter overhead cam engine offers a lot more than meets the eye. We asked Daniel Hitler, Director of Engine Engineering, to give you a brief introduction.
The engine represents state-of-the-art technology. First, it's overhead cam, driven by a belt which is hidden behind this cam cover, but a conventional cog belt drive. Secondly, it has an aluminum cylinder head. Contrary to prior Renault history, the cylinder block is one-piece cast iron. This engine no longer uses an aluminum block or an iron block with wet liners. This is a single unitized iron block. Next feature of intense interest is its electronic control system. We've applied single-point fuel injection, similar to the 1.4 liter, but in a more advanced state. Its electronic control system is far more advanced. It uses a NOx sensor, which the 1.4 unit did not. And the control circuit, or the control logic for this NOx sensor, is without a doubt the most advanced in the world. I could tell you that it has adaptive learning and that it measures the knock for each cylinder independent of the others, and a whole list of features. But the bottom line, or the value to the consumer to those features, is that the engine provides very respectable performance with a minimum compromise in fuel economy. And that was our objective, to improve the performance compared to the 1.4 without substantially deteriorating fuel economy.
To be more precise, we're looking at EPA estimates with 5-speed overdrive of 30 city and 37 highway, compared to 31 city and 38 highway on the 1.4 engine. A 1 mile per gallon loss is very minimal when you consider the significant gain in overall performance. These figures are based on the new EPA system, which reduces all MPG figures for 1985 cars by 10% city and 22% highway. This is industry-wide and applies to all vehicles. On the subject of overall performance, listen to what two automotive writers had to say about the 1.7 after having driven 200 miles up the California coast.
When the Alliance came out, I sort of fell in love with it. It had the best combination of ride and handling available in a car that size in the United States. The engine has exactly what the Alliance needed. You know, it's additional torque, so that you can now go up hills in 5th gear, and you don't have to worry about rowing through the gears to keep the car moving in front of traffic or with traffic. The 1.7-liter engine allows you to drive the car just as you would drive any larger, traditionally American car.
In 1983,
the Renault Alliance won the Car of the Year award at Motor Trend. If it had the 1.7 liter then, I think it would have won by a much larger margin.
Having heard from a professional race driver, an American Motors engineer, and two highly regarded automotive writers, we decided to seek one more opinion, the opinion of an American Motors dealer. We asked John Irish, owner of John Irish AMC, Jeep, Renault in San Rafael, California, and not so incidentally, a race driver on the IMSA and Champion Sparkplug Challenge circuits, to give you his impressions of the 1.7.
I drove both these cars. They're identically equipped with automatic transmissions, and the response on this 1.7 engine is just remarkable. It's absolutely day and night difference. I came with quite a bit of skepticism as to how this engine would perform. It seems like it has twice the power. It's just incredible. I haven't been this excited since the local Toyota dealership burned down.
Well, that's your 1.7 engine story, and I think it's safe to say that the consensus of opinion is that this engine is really going to do a job for us. Now, as you probably know, the 1.7 comes standard on some models and is optional on others. Let me give you the rundown. First, the 1.7 is standard on the Alliance convertible, which comes in both an L and DL model. It's also standard on the Alliance Limited sedan. The Alliance L and DL sedans offer the 1.7 as an option. The base model Alliance comes only with the 1.4. Moving over to the Encore, we find that the 1.7 comes standard on the GS and is optional on the S and LS. The base Encore does not offer the 1.7 option. To sum up, the Alliance convertible and limited sedan offer the 1.7 as standard equipment. The Alliance L and DL and the Encore S and LS both offer the 1.7 as an option. The base Alliance and base Encore are available only with the 1.4-liter engine. We all know that Alliance has excellent cornering and road holding ability, but how does it stack up in the eyes of an experienced race driver like Parnelli Jones? To find out, we asked him to drive the Alliance with a 1.7-liter engine on the road course at Riverside, California. We told him to ring it out and push the car to its limits. Here's what he had to say.
I thought the handling of the car was very, very good. You could dive into the turns real well, and it stuck right on the pole and followed the line right around and accelerated quite well coming out of the turn. It's an impressive little handling little car, and that front-wheel drive, when you get into the throttle, tends to pull it right through the corner. It's an impressive little car.